Hello, Word fam. Hope everybody's doing well. What's going on a Wednesday night? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys for being with us this evening. As you can see, we're a little different setup this evening. We are in the shop. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. We're actually on the computer this evening instead of on the phone. Sometimes we are on the phone. Tonight we are on the computer. And I need my glasses because I can't see nothing. That's all right. I'm going to squint most of the show looking at the screen. So hopefully you don't mind my squinting, okay? We are going to talk about jig heads tonight, jig color tonight. We talked about jig heads last week, all right, and the different varieties or weights of jig heads. We talked about the shape of the jig head. We talked about, the evolution of the jig head from the time that, we started crappie fishing 12 years, 15 years ago to, longline trolling up through shooting docks and fishing brush. And now with live scope, the different weight jig heads that we use that are very different from what we started with 15, 20 years ago when we started crappie fishing. So, a lot of variations of jig heads, but tonight we want to talk about jig color. Okay. So I think you guys are going to get a lot out of tonight. I'm excited about tonight. It's one of my favorite things to talk about because, first of all, let me say going into this, okay, I'm not a firm believer in color, okay? I'm a firm believer in contrast, all right? And I'm going to explain what I mean by contrast and explain what I mean by color. And we got a whole bag full of tricks right over here with all different kinds of colors of stump bug that we're going to go through, and we're going to see, how they stack up. All right. So we're going to go through some different color stump bugs out of my special little Cabela's bag here. All right. This is my bag, guys, that goes with me everywhere. This is pretty much all I use. I mean, I've got one other small bag, just a Ziploc bag that has all my action tail jigs in it that I use for trolling. But pretty much, this is my tournament bag. I mean, this is what I take in my boat, in somebody else's boat, whatever I'm fishing. Okay, pretty much this one bag. It's got all my jig head boxes in it. I got 3 jig head boxes. One's got 16ths, 24s, 32nds. One's got 8s, and one's got quarters. And then all my different color stump bugs right here. All right, all stacked up in there. All my bonehead tackle stump bugs. That is my go-to bait. Look, that pack's empty. Look at that. Woo! All right, so like I said, we're going to talk about jig head color. But first, before we get into that, let's talk about a couple things that happened this last week. One, when you guys get on tonight, please make sure you drop me a hello. All right, drop me a hello. Let me know where you're from. I always like talking back to you guys and saying hello back to you guys. So make sure you drop a comment, okay? Go ahead and get the fingers warmed up. Drop me a comment. Hello, Matt. How you doing? What's up? You look ugly tonight. You got bags under your eyes. You look like you work too much. All those good things. Whatever you want to type, that's fine. Keep it friendly. It's a family-friendly show, so I appreciate you for that. All right, but drop me a hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Always like to say hello back to you guys, okay? Let's see who's on tonight. Bassin, what's going on? Crappie Kev from Ashburn, Virginia. Hello, hello. Russell Odom, Lightwire Hooks. What's going on? Win Steve from Big Sandy, Tennessee. What's up? Marshall agreed on the contrast. Yes, sir. I love contrasting colors. Joel, what's up? Hope you're doing great, buddy. Hope you had a good day today on the water. Joel went fishing today. Payne Weaver, how was the storm? Hadn't got it yet. I guess it's coming, so I hear, but we haven't got the storm yet. Oh, the big storm, I guess maybe the last week's storm, is that what you're talking about? It wasn't too bad for us. We didn't get too much off of last week's storm, but hello. Fisher of Men, what's going on? Bison from Southern Central Virginia. Fisher of Men's from Louisiana. Ronnie Harris, hello. Paul Gwynn, what's going on, Paul? What is up, my friend? All right, so real quick, let's talk about this past weekend. East Tennessee Crappie Club had their banquet this past weekend. Man, that was a great time. You want to talk about fun? The food, Chad Cates cooked smoked barbecue for that. Chicken thighs, pulled pork. Oh, my gosh, had baked beans, had potato salad, and the banana pudding. The banana pudding was so good. Oh, my goodness gracious. Just absolute great food. Thank you to the club for doing that. That was great. Thank you to Chad for cooking that for us. We really appreciate that for sure. And we set the schedule for next year. I think it's a great schedule. The schedule for next season is going to be a good one. I think there's going to be a lot of fish caught at every tournament. The only tournament that really I don't like is the Melton Hill tournament. I do not like Melton Hill. I'm not a fan of Melton Hill, but there's fish in Melton Hill, so we'll go catch some. You know what I'm saying? So September and all right. So East Tennessee Crappie Club always fishes on the third Saturday of the month. All right, third Saturday. So September 21st is Tellico. October 19th is Watts Bar. November 16th is Chickamauga. December 14th, which is the second weekend of December, that's the only exception to that third weekend rule because of Christmas, is Melton Hill. January 18th is Watts Bar again. February 15th is Tellico. March 15th is Douglas, and the Classic is April the 19th on Fort Loudon. So it's going to be a really, really good schedule. Hold that up there for you guys. Maybe you'll be able to see it. There you go. 24-25 schedule. East Tennessee Crappie Club, Tellico, Watts Bar, Chick, Melton Hill, Watts Bar, Tellico, Douglas, and Fort Loudon, guys. If you want to look at that schedule, you can go to Facebook to the East TN Crappie Club page, and you can find that schedule on there if you're interested in fishing some of those events. They're a blast. They're a lot of fun, and I suggest you guys getting in something like that because it helps you become a better angler. It really does. A lot of good information shared from those guys, and a lot of knowledge throughout that club for sure, and a lot of great fishermen. So I challenge you this next season, come to your home lake. You don't have to travel. You don't have to fish all of them. But if you don't or you haven't fished those before, get in the truck, hook up the boat, and come to your home lake first. That's your best chance, right? Come to your home lake and experience the club, experience the guys, the relationships, the friendships, the camaraderie. I promise you'll be hooked. So check that out on Facebook, East TN Crappie Club. Got the awards at the banquet, and we pulled it off again, guys. Pulled it off for one more year. Got the Angler of the Year plaque, 2023-2024 Angler of the Year. And let me tell you something. Fishing against those guys to get one of these, I don't take it lightly. They're extremely tough. Every single tournament, they show up, and they fish hard. I mean, those guys out there fish hard, and they are really, really good. I would challenge to say that East Tennessee Crappie Club probably has some of the top 1% of crappie fishermen in this country. That is the honest truth. I mean, there are some really, 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 really good anglers in that club that will catch them no matter rain, shine, sleet, hail, snow, 50,000 CFM running through the dam. It doesn't matter. They'll catch fish. So to go out there and put one of these on the wall at the end of the year is one of the greatest accomplishments that I can think of that I have ever done in crappie fishing. I mean, it is extremely tough to be consistent throughout the season and to pull off a win against such great anglers. So I cherish it. I honor it. I appreciate everybody to be able to win such an award. And thank you to the club and for everybody that fishes it for allowing me to do so. So it's a lot of fun. It's a blast. It's something I look forward to every month. And I know the guys in the club and the guys that fish the tournaments look forward to it too. So going to hang that back there on the wall behind us. We got to find some space back there somewhere, but it's going to go back there with the other plaques and other memorabilia. So looking forward to getting that hung up. We'll get it back here sometime or another. But right now we're going to talk about jigs. So let's see who we got. Let me scroll through here a little bit. Ooh, who we got? Who have I not said hello to? Derek, what's going on, Derek? From Lightwire Hooks. Eddie Gregg, hello from Morristown. Payne Weaver, been a while since I YouTubed. What is your go-to bait company? Bonehead Tackle. Bonehead Tackle Stump Bug is my go-to bait company. That right there is a Bonehead Tackle Stump Bug, and that is my go-to bait. They also have the Slim Stick, the Mini Slim, the Minnow, the Brush Glider. They got a whole different line of baits that that are great baits too. But the stump bug is my go-to. That's what I have confidence in. That's what I throw. Ashley Coffee, what's going on? Remember to leave a thumbs up for the content if you like the channel. Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate that. Leave a thumbs up, guys. Virgil, hello. David, hello. Alex Barrett. Did I say that right? Barrett. Hello, Matt. Hope you're doing well. How was your guide trip on Douglas Sunday? I had a tough time getting in the bite on Douglas Sunday. Man, the guide trip on Douglas Sunday was absolutely great. It really was. Be honest with you, the guys wanted to fish down at the dam, and I don't typically fish down at the dam, so we went down there and we started idling out, and the guy kind of looks over at my graph, and he's like, "Hey, I'm not trying to be nosy," he says, "but I don't really see any waypoints on that." I said, "I don't have any waypoints down here. I don't fish down here, but we're gonna go catch them, I hope." And he's like, "Okay." So we went out. We started fishing. I said, "Look, we'll be on fishing in less than a half hour. Just give me a chance." And he's like, "Okay." So we went out and located some fish, found fish, open water fish on live scope, and absolutely wore them out. Had a great day. Guys caught a ton of fish. It was just a blast. I've got some photos here. Got some photos here of them if you guys would like to see some of those. There's one that came off Douglas Sunday. It's a little gory, but there's another one. That was Douglas Sunday. There's a good one. Good time. Let's see. There they are together. So it was fun. It was a good day. We caught a lot of fish. Fish were suspended out in open water. They were anywhere from 4 foot down to 15 foot down. Anything deeper than about 15 foot wasn't wanting to play. It wasn't really wanting to bite. Those active fish were up in the water column, and if you could find those active fish in the water column, you could catch them. So try that. I'd say they'll probably still be there for the next little bit anyway. Post-spawn fish, they're feeding up. They're moving back out. It's probably a good area to find them in. Tommy Johnson, what's going on? Rick Martin, hello. Johnny Coots, congratulations, Matt. Thank you very much, Johnny. I appreciate it. Jimmy Pratt, hello, Matt and gang. What's going on? James Williams, where's the curly tails from Bonehead? They're coming. I promise you they're coming. They're working on them as hard as they can. All right, so let's talk jig color. All right. Some of you might have seen this video on my YouTube channel, but I have got a ton of comments. Let's mix this one up a little bit. Woo! I've got a ton of comments since that video asking for different colors. What about this color? What about that color? How about this? How about that? So we're going to do it again on the live, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about, let's go this way. You guys see those? All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about jig color contrasting your watercolor. So as you can see here, we have East Tennessee water, okay? That's East Tennessee water. That's about as close as I can get to it in the summer. That's summer East Tennessee water right there, all right? We got, well, it rained 2 weeks ago water. And then we got, hey, it flooded last week, okay? Now, some of you guys may say, well, this is my water all the time, okay? This is clean for my area, all right? Cool deal. You guys may say, well, that's more representative of my watercolor. Okay, that's fine too, all right? But what we're trying to do is we're trying to show you guys, or I'm trying to show you guys, what different jigs colors look like in different water clarities and how contrasting these waters, okay, these 3 different water clarities with your jig is going to benefit your crappie fishing. Okay. So with that being said, we have several different types of jigs. All right. Color-wise, you've got your natural colors. Okay. That's what I would consider a natural. All right. Very translucent, a little bit of pepper, got some shine to it, a little sheen to it, a little blue tint to it. That's your natural. That's going to be more of your natural shad type colors. Okay. Then you've got stuff, and you've got, of course, you've got your silvers and blues. That's a good natural color. Okay. That's solid on one side, translucent on the other, got some blue flake in it. That's a good one. I like that one right there. I'm telling you, that's blue ice. I do like that blue ice. All right. Then you've got your kind of what I'll call your kind of mid-range colors. And what I mean by mid-range is kind of this clarity right here. You've got a little bit of that natural, but then it's got some color to it, right? It's got a little bit of vibrant to it. It's got something that'll stand out in water of this color, okay? Of course, always, you always got your black and chartreuse. Your black and chartreuse is going to work anywhere. Great clear water color, great muddy water color. There is things in your lake, regardless of whether your lake is clear or whether it's muddy. There is stuff in your lake that fish eat that's black. Okay, I promise you, there's stuff in that lake that's black, whether it be shad that have black on them, or whether it be a crawdad that looks somewhat black, or a snail, or there's something in your lake that's black. Or let's say a cricket falls in, he's falling down through there. Yeah, he's a little bit brown, but some of them are pretty dark. So I mean to tell you, there's something that looks blackish in your lake. All right. That black and chartreuse is known to drive a reaction strike in fish. It creates a reaction strike in fish. It's known to do that, scientifically proven. That's not Matt proven, that's science, right? So chartreuse is always a go-to for crappie. Of course, you got your white and chartreuse, all right? And then you've got that's kind of a any color, if you will, white and chartreuse. And then you've got stuff like, you can get as crazy as pink and chartreuse, right? Pink and chartreuse in real dirty water. And you've got, if you want to get really, really nuts with it, I don't even think I have any in here because I don't typically get that. Yeah, I got some right here. I don't typically get that crazy, but your orange and chartreuse, I mean, just as bright can get. I've thrown this in front of fish in East Tennessee, and they've run from it, literally on live scope, run from it, okay? So what is your favorite color? What colors do you want to run through here? All right, we're going to start in the neutral category. We're going to start in the neutral zone. We're going to work our way up to crazy. Is everybody cool with that? So let's start out. Let's see. Let's find us a good neutral color. Let's find us a good neutral color. It doesn't get much more neutral than moon dust. Moon dust is about as clean and clear as it gets, okay? So right there's your moon dust stump bug. All right, it's about as translucent, as clean and clear as you can get. I mean, that's silver flake. There's a little silver flake in it, if you can see that, little bit of silver flake, and it is just as clear and clean as can be. There's a little bit of cloudiness to it, but for the most part, it's just clear, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our nifty fishing rod right here. Y'all like that fishing rod? They sell these fishing rods at Home Depot, all right, in the paint section. So if you go into the paint section, Home Depot, Lowe's, any hardware store in the paint section, you can get you one of these fishing rods. They're about $1. They're really not expensive. You can get them pretty cheap. Actually, I think you can get you a 10-pack for $1, as a matter of fact. So they're pretty cheap if you get you one of them there fishing rods in the Home Depot or the Lowe's. Man, look at the action you got on that fishing rod right there. I mean, that's special. I mean, special. All right, so we're just using a standard unpainted jig head for this, okay, for this demonstration. And we're going to slide a jig up on it. Little moon dust stump bug. We're going to slide her up on there. And we're going to just see what this joker looks like. All right. There we go. Tickle, 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 tickle. Tickle, tickle, tickle. All right, so we're going to start right here. All right. So if you're a crappie, let's move some of this out of the way so you guys get a little bit better picture here. a little cleaner picture. All right, so if you're a crappie, can you guys see that? Oh, yeah, you can see it. All right, you're a crappie. That's in your lake. That's bouncing around, okay? You can see how that actually doesn't look too bad. It actually kind of blends with the water. It's not too loud. It's not too bright. It's not too crazy, okay? That swims by a fish in clear water, and they're going to see that, okay? They're going to see that jig coming through the water, but it's not going to be so bright that it absolutely scares them to death and they take off running, in fear that something's getting ready to, some kind of fungus is getting ready to get them. All right. So again, that is, let's try to get this where you guys can see it just a little bit better. All right. That's your clear, translucent type colors. That's about as clear as it's going to get. Now, let's bump up a hair. All right. Let's go up here to the slick. All right, the slick is the one that's got a little blue tint to it, but it's got that black pepper flake in it, okay? So let's go bump up to that slick. See what it looks like in that clear water, okay? Now, you see that a little bit better, right? A little better. It's not as translucent, all right? It's got some black flake in it, so you can see that jig just a little bit better, okay? See that jig sitting there? Look at the action on that thing. Man, that's nice. All right, now, you take that same jig and you put it over here, okay? You lose it just a little bit, right? You still see it. It's still there, okay? Not bad. We can still get away with that. It's dingy, okay? You don't get as much action. You can't see as much. Go back. All right. Obviously, you can't see it that good. But you still see her. She's still there. Okay. Now, watch this. Get in there. Where's that jig at? I promise it's in there. There it is. All right. Ready? Bloop. That jig absolutely disappears. Fish ain't going to see that coming. They'll feel it coming. They'll feel it in their lateral line. But how are they going to find it? You can kind of see the head in there just a little bit. All right. But you are not going to get to see that jig very well. Okay. That is not a muddy water color. Okay. Very simple. Now, let's go up another degree. Let's go white and chartreuse. Okay. Let's go white and chartreuse, see what it looks like. If you guys have any colors that you guys would like to see, let me know. Put it in the comments. All right. White and chartreuse. Look at that. In clear water, that white actually looks pretty dang good. It really does not stand out as much as you'd think it would, right? I mean, white does not stand out in clear water all that well, surprisingly, okay? It actually blends fairly well with clear water, okay? But that chartreuse, as a matter of fact, that's a good-looking jig right there. I kind of like that. That's why I use white chartreuse all the time, okay? Now look, okay? You can still see it pretty well, fairly well, in that stained water. Not a bad stained water color. I'd use that. I think I can get that close enough to a fish to give him a bite. Now watch this. Okay. Again, you're starting to see a little bit of that chartreuse. You can see a little bit of that white in there, right? Bounce it a little quicker here. Yeah. You can see it fall. You guys see that? You can see it fall just a little. I'm on the front of the glass. Let's try to keep it in the center of the glass. You can see her fall just a little bit there, but she's not standing out too well, is she? Yeah, probably not the best dirty water color. Okay. I dare you to take a sip of each of them. Yeah, that's not going to happen because, see, I put weed killer on my yard and then went and dug some of this out today and put it in these glasses. So my guess is there's probably weed killer in here. That ain't happening. That ain't happening, Chris. All right. So pumpkin and chartreuse. Okay. All right. Let's go pumpkin and chartreuse. So everybody knows that pumpkin chartreuse stump bug, right, is one of my favorites. Absolute favorite. I love pumpkin and chartreuse, okay? One of my absolute favorites without a doubt. All right. There's pumpkin and chartreuse. That right there is a good-looking jig. I'm sorry to tell you. But that right there is sexy, okay? All right. Now, let's move over here to dingy water. You still see that pretty good. I need to stir my dingy water up a little bit. But you can still see that fairly well in that dingy water, right? Dunk, 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 dunk. If you was a crappie, would you eat that? I'd eat that. Okay. Now, bloop. Let's try to keep it off the front of the glass. Yeah, pumpkin chartreuse ain't the best muddy watercolor in the world. I can tell you that right now. All right. So still really hadn't found much that's going to work for us very well in muddy water. Okay. Muddy water, yeah, we still hadn't found it yet. All right. So now let's go to, how about silver? How about silver and blue? John Deere green. We got John Deere green. Let's try it next. All right, let's try silver and blue. And you guys need to keep this in mind when you go to the lake, right? So you go to the lake, there's been a rainstorm, it's gotten muddy. Not even that, but especially in the summer, okay? Listen to me now. Especially in the summer when you've got boats that are running around all over the lake, okay? And those boats that are running around create wake up against the bank, and it starts washing silt off the bank, and it gets muddy, right? And those areas where your brush piles are, they collect mud, and sometimes you pull into a new area, and you're wondering, why am I not getting bit? Well, did the water clarity change? Is your bait not getting seen right? You know, there's a lot of different things that could cause that for you not to get bit, okay? So you got to keep that in mind. There's that blue and silver, okay? That's silver, little clear on top, blue on the with blue flake. Okay, call it blue ice. Let me move my arm off the table. Okay, bring that over here into the dingy water. You can still see that jig pretty well. Still shows up pretty well in there. Okay, move it over here. She gone. Oh, well, you can see the jig head. Other than that jig, she gone. Okay. Now, John Deere green. Let me stir up my dingy water. John Deere green and chartreuse. Okay. Let's check her out. My guess is she's going to be bright. She's going to be bright in clean water. Right? You? Oh, yeah. She bright. Not too bright, though. Not as bright as you'd think. Not really looking that bad. All right? Let's move her over here. Yeah, we still see her pretty well in there. That green comes through really well, doesn't it? There's some chartreuse you're seeing. That green definitely stands out. All right, let's move her over here. Oh. Are we seeing a little bit of green in there? Let's slow her down. You guys see a little green? Yeah, maybe a little. Not bad. We're getting somewhere. That dark, dingy water. Joe said 3 different jigs, no fish. Gonna have to move glasses. I hear you. I don't know that I can catch any out of these glasses, Joel. All right. Let's go with, hey, how about the disco? How about the silver and chartreuse? Right? Let's try it. Oh, here's a good one. Who likes purple and chartreuse? That's one of my faves. One of my faves. Let's try the silver and chartreuse. Oh, Palestine Special. I do have Palestine Special. Where's it at? Bam! Palestine Special. Blue and chartreuse. We'll try it too. All right. So, silver and chartreuse. Okie dokie. Definitely see it in there. That silver gets lost a little bit, but you can still see the chartreuse tails. Right? And then boom. Yeah, I still don't like that very much. You can see, the chartreuse popped through a little bit right there on that one. Yeah, no. A lot of colors that are good for stained water, not so much mud. All right, let's try the Palestine Special. Let's try the Palestine Special. Let's try that blue and chartreuse. Chris wants to see it. We got to make Chris happy. If anybody's wondering, this is a 24th ounce jig head. We're trying to present these fish. All right. There's your Palestine Special, Chris. In clean water. Tennessee water. All right. Now, you can still see that joker pretty well, but I want you to look at something. In dirty water, okay? In dirty water, can you tell that that's blue? If you were a fish, would you think that was blue in dirty water? I don't know. It comes through blue a little bit when it moves up to the front of the glass, but if it sits right in the middle of the glass and I bounce that around, what's that look like to you guys? Does it still look blue? Every once in a while, I get a hint of blue. That don't look blue. Okay. All right, let's move it over here to the dirty water. Uh-oh. I see it coming through a little bit. I'm going to hold it right in the middle of the glass and see if you guys can see it. Can you see it? I'm twitching it just a hair. Yep, I can see a little bit. Look at there. Uh-huh. Don't look blue to me. What colors that look to you guys? Yep. Go ahead. Say it. Say it. Say it. I'd bite it. Yeah, I'd bite it too. Keep in mind that the color of the water is going to change the color of your jig a little bit as well. All right. Let's see here. What do we want to try next? Any color close to gray gist. What is gray gist? What is gray gist? I'm not real sure. Anybody know what color that is? Gray. Let's see what I have in here that's gray. I don't have any double ugly in here. I thought maybe I had some double ugly. Gray Ghost. I don't know what color Gray Ghost is. How about this? Is that close to Gray Ghost? I mean, that's silver and gray with some blue in it. I don't know if that's close to it or not. Gray Ghost. Not real sure. Try this one, see. All right, try that one right there. Get in there. Translucent gray. So yeah, that's pretty close to it right there. I mean, that's translucent gray. that's going to be pretty close. So there it is in clear water. If I was fishing clear water, I'd eat that. It looks just like a minnow. You know what I'm saying? And here it is in dingy water. You can still see it. You know, you can't make out a whole lot about it, but you can still see it. Looks exactly like a bait fish in dingy water. I mean, you can't deny that right there looking like a bait fish. That looks exactly like a bait fish. Okay? And then here we go. All right, let me hold it right in the middle, right there. Yeah, you can see it on the front of the glass there. Trying to hold it in the middle for you guys so you can see. There you go. Not a whole lot coming through. Okay. All right. That's about as close to gray ghost as I can get. Black and chartreuse. I've been waiting on that. Let's do purple and chartreuse first. Let's try purple and chartreuse. Purple and chartreuse is probably one of the colors I use the absolute most in East Tennessee. I love, love, love that purple and chartreuse stump bug. That one right there. Some of people say, that's blue. It's not really blue. It just looks blue. It's purple. I promise. All right. Purple and chartreuse in clean water. There you go. In dingy water. See how much better that stands out than, say, your gray ghost or your white and chartreuse or some of your translucent colors. Shows up just so much better. All right, let's go over here. Dingy water or muddy water. Straight up mud. Starting to see a little bit and keep it off the wall. Keep it off the wall. Starting to see a little coming through there. Starting to get where we're trying to get. Come off that front wall. There you go. All right. Starting to see something. All right. Let me set it in there still. Get it to turn. There we go. You guys see it? See it in there moving? That's right in the middle of the glass. Starting to see something come through right there. All right. All right, black and chartreuse. Yeah, that one's all jacked up. That'd be all right. For the sake of this demonstration, it can be jacked up. All right, black and chartreuse. Probably one of my absolute favorite colors, without a doubt. I've got some go-to colors. One of them is black and chartreuse, one of them is purple and chartreuse, and one of them is white and chartreuse. I just love my chartreuses, you know what I mean? So there's your black and chartreuse in clear water and dingy water. Okay? And then in the muddy water. All right, big difference right here in muddy water. Okay? Let me get it in the middle of the jar. See it? You guys can see it coming through. Quit bouncing off the front of the jar or glass. There you go. Huge difference in muddy water. Okay? Huge difference. So that's right in the middle of the jar. Stop it right there. There's the chartreuse side of it. Turn around. Turn. There you go. See the black? Right in the middle of the jar or the glass. All right. So black and chartreuse in muddy water will come through to those fish. Okay. Black and chartreuse is probably, if I see mud, black and chartreuse is about the only bait I'm going to use. Let's try the pink and chartreuse. A lot of guys like pink and chartreuse. A lot of guys like orange and chartreuse in mud. Okay. All right. Pink truce. I'll never throw that in clear water. Way too bright for me. Way too bright. All right. There it is in dingy water. That tones it down a little bit, but still very, 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 very bright in dingy water. Okay. And then in muddy water. So you will get that pink to come through in muddy water. Not as good as the black, but it will come through. There you go. That should be middle of the glass about right there. Okay. So you can see it bouncing around in there a little bit, but it is not going to come through as good as the black and chartreuse, but it does come through. Pink is a good muddy water color. Okay. Pink is a good muddy water color. Let's see. Where's that orange at? Where's that funky orange? Man, we went down to High Rock. If you fish High Rock Lake, okay, in North Carolina, where'd that orange go? There it is. That color right there is the only color we could catch them on. It was muddy. Their fish were under docks, and that was the only color. I take that back. Black and chartreuse. They would hit black and chartreuse, but that orange and chartreuse, they absolutely lit this color up. And that is the reason that I have it in my bag, because when I went down there, I didn't have any in my bag because I never use it. And when I got down there and that was all they would hit, my fishing partner had some, and I'm glad he did, because we wouldn't have caught any fish on any other color. Not as many. We would have caught some black and chartreuse, but that right there, my friends, is by right, okay, for clear water. I mean, absolutely bright. Now, I'm not going to tell you won't catch fish on it. I'm just telling you that's really, really, really bright, okay, for clear water. Now, dingy water, it tones it down a little bit, okay? It's not as bad in that dingier water. I would probably try it in dingy water if I couldn't get fish to bite and I was looking through my colors trying to find something. I may give it a go, okay? But I'm probably not going to fish it very long. If they don't absolutely just pick it up and hammer down on it, I'm probably not going to fish it for a really long time. But I'll give it a go, okay? So there's orange and chartreuse. Now, move that over to the muddy side. And it definitely comes through in the mud. Where's that? There it is. Doing, 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 doing. All right. So you can see it in the mud. Again, maybe not as good as the black and chartreuse in the mud, but you can see it. I mean, that's on the front of the glass. Let me get it. There you go. About right there. All right. So there it is. It comes through, but it's not as good as the black and chartreuse. All right. Electric chicken, get her done. I caught 24 with that orange and chartreuse last weekend dock shooting. Where are you dock shooting at? Where'd you say you're from, fisherman? My lake is like the murky glass. Okay. So the murky glass. And he caught 24 on the orange and chartreuse dock shooting. So light also plays a role in this. Okay. So I'm not gonna get to block the light out here, I don't think. Let's see if I can block the light out from it. All right, so sunlight, all right, out in front of a dock, under a dock. Okay, light is going to play a huge role. The depth you're fishing is going to play a very large role in what color you're using as well. I appreciate you for saying that. So keep in mind that it's not just going to be, again, that's under a dock. Okay, that's in sunlight. Under a dock. So keep in mind, okay, it's going to play a big role in it as well, the amount of light penetration that you're getting. Okay. You take that, put it over here on the clear side. Get it to turn. All right, put that over on the clear side and then put it under a dock. It's not quite as bright, is it? Right? So keep in mind, the area you're fishing in is also going to change the color or the contrast of your jig. It's not necessarily color, guys. That's why I say all the time, I'm not a firm believer in color. Color is not, my main focus. My main focus is contrasting the lake and the water that you're dealt, okay, or what you're fishing in. So again, sunlight, no sunlight, big difference, okay? A lot of people would say that's not orange, right? Without the light on it. So let's do that with a clear jig. Let's go all the way back to the beginning to that moon dust, which is just nothing but translucent and silver flake. Okay. Let's put that in there. Let's get her to turn sideways. There we go. All right. See that, guys? You can barely see that, guys. All right. Let's put it under a dock. Look how much more that jig showed up. I only put sunlight back to it. That jig almost disappears in the sunlight. Look at that. Almost disappears. Now watch. Yeah, she turned on us. Hang on. Turn back. There you go. All right. Jig's almost disappeared. Put it under a dock. Right there she is. Okay. Big difference. Got straight black. I don't think I have straight black. But what we can do, we can make straight black. We can make it. If at first you don't succeed, try again. There we go. Straight black. All right. Black there. Black there. And right there. Let me get it off the wall there. Back her up. Back. Turn. Oh, she jumped out. There you go. Straight black. Okay. And again, straight black under a dock isn't really going to change much, right? So in the shade, in the sun, in the shade, in the sun, in the shade, sun, turn around, shade. Crazy how that works, ain't it? So that's my spiel on jigs and on color. contrast the color of water you're fishing, okay? Don't get hung up on looking at these jigs, okay? Looking at all these different colors and think to yourself, well, what color am I supposed to throw for crappie? Well, it's simple. If the crappie can see it, they're going to eat it, all right? Crappie are opportunistic eaters. And if they can see your jig, they'll eat your jig, okay? Contrast the water, put something down there in front of them that they can see, and they'll hit it, all right? Your best chance of catching fish is to contrast the water. I got company. Brantley. He came down here to say hello. But your best chance of catching fish is to contrast that water, okay? Contrast the water. Keep several different colors of jig with you. Obviously, I have multiple colors of jig, right? I've got everything in the rainbow because most crappie anglers do. Oh, man, there's black and silver right there. Let's try this one before we head out. All right. That's kind of a double ugly, if you will. Black, silver, with some red flake. Let's try that one real quick. That's kind of the one I was looking for earlier. That's more of your quote-unquote shad colors. All right, let's try that one. Woo, I know I like it in that water. I like it in this water. Okay? I really like it in that water. It's a good-looking jig right there. I mean, that looks like a mariner. I'd eat it. But she comes through a little bit right there. Just a little. Just a little. Okay? Wiggle her back and forth. She does come through a little bit there. But let's put her under. Let's put her under a dock. She really stands out then. You see that jig fairly well. Then, okay. Just keep in mind, sunlight's going to change the color of your jig, water depth, water penetrate or light penetration at that depth, and color of water. Okay. Contrast the water, contrast your light, you'll catch fish. All right. Or you'll at least have an opportunity to catch fish. All right. I'm late to the game. What's up, everybody? What's up, Ty? Hope you're doing well, buddy. What flavor was that jig? It I don't know. It didn't really have a flavor. It's jig flavored, I guess. Chris wanted me to drink some water. I'll drink some. Cheers. Nice. That's tap water. I'm not drinking any of the other ones. The tap water was pretty good. All right. So, like I was saying, crappie angler needs to have a lot of different colors for different situations, especially if you're going to travel and fish, or if you're going to fish different lakes, or you're going to fish situations where, you know, hey, it rained all last week and now the water's muddy, or, you know, it's rained for 14 days nonstop, and, you know, it's chocolate milk. Another thing is, you know, I always try to find, especially if I'm fishing in an area that's typically clear, I always try to find a little bit cleaner water. I try not to fish in that muddy water. Typically, there'll be an area of the lake or section of the lake that stays a little bit cleaner than the rest. I'll try to hit those areas if I can. That's kind of how I combat some of that dirty water stuff as well. Some of you guys don't have a choice, though. Some of you guys, I mean, if I lived down in Mississippi, or if I lived in in Illinois or some of these lakes where they just stay muddy year round. Arkansas and some of these different places that have dirty water lakes all the time, or dark water lakes like Florida. Okay, keep Florida in mind. I mean, there's some dark water in Florida, right? So I try to keep those colors and start with those colors that typically contrast those watercolors best, and then you can change it up from there if you need to, right? But to be as successful as you can, as quickly as you can, you need to try to stick with those colors that are going to contrast your water the best on the average day for the average day of fishing. If you do that, you'll be successful, you'll catch fish, and you'll have fun on the water, okay? You'll put crappie in the boat, and you'll have a good time. So, all right, we've been on for almost an hour. You're very welcome, Fishersman. He says, awesome. Thanks again. You're very welcome. What's up, all? Running late. Been on the lake. Well, look at you. Aren't you special, George? You're out there fishing while we're in here sitting in the shop, not doing anything. But I appreciate you guys for everything y'all do. As always, God bless. I know if you've seen this video before, you probably have asked yourself, because I did this video once before on the YouTube channel, and I think I just did 3 colors. I think it was a clear bait, a somewhat muddy, what I'd call a dingy water bait, and a muddy water bait. So wanted to elaborate on it a little bit. Had a lot of people ask me about their color or different colors from what I used. So I want to give you guys a chance to kind of tell me what some of your, he said, yes, I am, lots of laughs, some of what your colors are, and go through those. And there's a lot of new people to the channel that haven't seen it before, so I want to go over that for them so that they could get caught up to speed on as far as how I choose my jig color. Okay, so as always, I appreciate you guys. God bless. Thank y'all for watching. We will catch you guys next week, same time, same place, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. We'll go over some other stuff. Got another good show coming next week, and try to be informative again next week. And I'm not going to give away what we're going to talk about next week, but it's going to be some cool stuff. It's going to get you thinking, okay? Get you thinking about crappie fishing a little bit and get you out there and get you some fish in the boat. So that's our goal. Our goal is to help everybody become a better angler, and that's what we're here to do, okay? So as always, God bless. Hope you guys have a good one. Have a good week, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you.